This conference will now be recorded.
Good morning, students. This is presentation one of mobile platforms, ICTC 7100. So, what is mobile platforms? Mobile computing is a technology that allows transmission of data, voice, and video via computer or any other wireless enabled device without having to be connected to a fixed physical link. That is mobile computing, which means you can go with your mobile device while you are performing your electronic activities, your digital activities. It means you are connected to servers, you are connected to computers in a remote area, then you can continue performing your tasks without any while you are moving. That is why it is called mobile computing, mobile technologies, and so on. So the main concept involves mobile communication, mobile hardware, and mobile software. So what is mobile communication now? The mobile communication in this case refers to infrastructure put in place to ensure that faultless and reliable communication goes on. Mobile communication refers to infrastructure put in place to ensure that faultless and reliable communication goes on. Those infrastructures required to facilitate communication, mobile communication, to facilitate mobile communication. So that is what is called mobile communication. This will include devices such as protocols, services, bandwidth, protocols necessary to facilitate and support this stated service. So it includes these protocols. Protocols, they are rules and regulations governing the communication process of a given network. That is what you call protocols. So those protocols require bandwidth, require devices, services required to facilitate this communication process, mobile communication. That is what you call this communication mobile communication. The data format is also defined at this stage. This ensures that there is no collision with other existing systems which offer the same service. Since the media is unguided or unbounded, what we call wireless, always, if we are using a mobile communication, because we are using mobile devices, it is understandable that the media which is used, it is a wireless communication media. So the overlaying infrastructure is basically radio wave oriented. So infrastructure which is radio wave oriented, that is the signal are carried over air to intended devices that are capable of receiving and sending similar kinds of signals. Apart from mobile communication, we have mobile hardware. For mobile communication, what are hardwares we need so that this is achieved? Mobile hardware includes mobile devices or devices component that receive or access the service of mobility. They would range from portable laptops, smartphone, tablet, PC, personal digital assistants, and so on. These devices, all mobile devices can be included in hardware component of this mobile communication. These devices will have a receptor media that is capable of sending and receiving signals. All mobile devices, they have receiving, sending and receiving. They have a device which is used to send and receive signals from somewhere, from a remote area, from another mobile device, from a server, and so on. So they have a receptor media that is capable of sending and receiving signal. So it is a receptor media which sends and receives signals from somewhere else. These devices are configured to operate in full duplex. Do you remember modes of communication? Modes of communication. We have simplex communication, half duplex communication, and full duplex communication. In simplex communication, a sender sends a message, but a receiver cannot reply. A receiver cannot reply. An example of such kind of communication is a radio communication. Radio communication is a simplex communication because we have radio transmitters which transmit signals, and we have radio receivers which receive signals passively. They don't reply, they don't send to the server, they don't send their own messages to the transmitters. So those kinds of communication are simplex. Apart from simplex, we have half duplex communication. Half duplex communication, it is a mode of communication whereby we have a transmitter which transmits a message, and we have a receiver which receives a message, but a receiver also can transmit a message, but they cannot send and receive at the same time. There is no concurrent transmission. They cannot talk at the same time. You see, for example, for a phone, cell phone network, both parties can talk at the same time. You can send and receive. Okay, the cell phone can send and receive. It uses full duplex. But walkie-talkie, for example, ibyo twita ibyombo walkie-talkie, those communication devices uh, which are used in military. So they use half duplex because one can send and another one can reply, but they cannot do those activities at the same time. They cannot send and receive at the same time. They can, both parties can talk, but one at a time. They cannot talk at the same time. So these mobile devices are configured to operate in a full duplex. I told you that for full duplex communication mode is a communication mode where both sending device and receiving device, they can send and receive at the same time. They can talk at the same time. It is possible to have a simultaneous transmission. The sender is sending and the receiver is sending also. One device is sending and receiving at the same time. That is the meaning of full duplex, whereby they are capable of sending and receiving signals at the same time. They don't have to wait until one device has finished communication for the other device to initiate the communication. You understand that a device is not required to wait until another one finish to send its message. They don't have to wait until another one finishes. She's communicating so that another one can also communicate. They can communicate at the same time. Each device can send and receive simultaneously at the same time. Above mentioned device use an existing and established network to operate on. In most cases, it would be a wireless network. Apart from mobile communication, mobile area, we have also mobile softwares. Mobile softwares, they are all those kinds of softwares and applications required in mobile devices so that mobile computing can be possible. Those kinds of operating system softwares applications required in mobile devices so that mobile computing can be possible. We call those kinds of applications, they are mobile softwares. Mobile software is the actual program that runs on mobile hardware. It deals with the characteristics and the requirements of mobile applications. This is the engine of the mobile devices. It is the engine. Each device which operates anyhow, it has operating system. So the operating system is an engine of each operating electronic device. It is the same for mobile devices. Mobile devices also have these kinds of softwares which facilitate them to operate. Which facilitate them to operate. So they are operating systems. It is the operating system of the appliance. It is the essential component that operates the mobile devices. It is the essential component because any electronic device which don't have the operating system cannot work. It is not possible to work for an operating system without. It is not possible for an electronic device to operate or to work without the operating system. So It is the essential component for a mobile device to operate. Since portability is the main factor, this type of computing ensures that users are not tied or pinned to a single physical location. So mobile computing, you can work while you are moving. It is not necessary that you are seated at the same physical place. You can work here and then you can go on with your mobile devices and continue your work at home. So that is why it is called mobile computing. You can go within your car while you are informing your work. So and this mobility is an essential key for mobile computing. It should be possible to work while you are not fixed at a physical place. Yes, it is not necessary to stay at one physical place, one physical location, so that you can perform this mobile computing. So that is why in hardware required, in hardware equipment required, we have mobile devices, and these devices which operate on batteries. Then and you can go anywhere with them. So as long as you can go with them, you can also perform your works wherever and whenever you want. It is not tied or pinned to a single physical location, but they are able to operate from anywhere. Can you understand? It is possible to operate, these devices are able to operate from anywhere because they are mobile devices. You can perform your work. So, for example, here we are using e-learning platforms. So you can use your mobile devices to attend this class. It is possible. Because you can use your mobile laptop, you can use your mobile smartphone, you can use your mobile tablet, whatever, so to attend this class. So you see that they are able to operate from anywhere. It incorporates all aspects of wireless communication. So the key feature, the key capability of these mobile devices is that they should have all aspects of wireless communication. Wireless communication should be a key feature of these mobile devices so that you can perform your mobile computing. Mobile computing means any work. Because at the beginning, a computer was an electronic device which did compute only computing. Computing means calculations. But nowadays, computing does not mean calculations. No, computing means any work, because computers can be used to perform any types of work, text processing, presentations like this, calculations, whatever. So that is why mobile computing does not mean mobile calculations, but mobile working. So it means you can work while you are moving, you can work while you are not fixed at the same physical location. You can perform your work from anywhere as long as you can move with your mobile devices. So now, what is mobile cloud computing? Cloud computing provides us means of accessing applications as utilities. Hmm? So mobile cloud computing, cloud computing provides us means uh, uh, of providing applications as utilities. Hmm? It means what? It means that nowadays, it is not necessary to install all required application in your mobile device or in your computer. You can access mobile, you can access applications installed in other computers and you consume them as utilities. It means you can pay as as you consume the service. You can pay per month, you can pay per whatever. But it is cloud computing. It means you have resources, you can access resources installed in other computers, and you consume them, and you pay as you pay electricity, as you pay water, because water and electricity, it is not necessary to have your own barrage electric, your own electrical what at your home, but you consume as you pay as you consume. It is the same here. It is the same for here. You access this application as utilities. It means you consume and then you pay per month of consumption. It allows us to create, configure, and customize the application online. Hmm? It is not necessary to install all the platforms required to develop your application. You can develop your application online, platform as a service. So in this case, you understand because why the cloud computing is initiated, because these mobile devices are not having the big memory space, uh, the big amount of mm, hard disk to store all this, all we need, but they can be there and then they can access these cloud computing services online. So you understand that it is a main advantage because we cannot install whatever we need in our mobile devices, but we can consume them as services and we can pay as we consume. We can pay as we consume. So now what is cloud? The term cloud refers to a network or internet. It is a network or internet. In other words, we can say that cloud is something which is present at a remote location. So we have an infrastructure, we have an application, we have an operating system, we have a software stored at a remote location, and then we can access it, we can enjoy it, we can use it, and we can pay it as an utility. Cloud can provide services over public and private networks. So cloud, you understand that they can provide services over private or public network. If you need your service to be private, you can access it privately in your local area network. But also you can access cloud services publicly by use on the internet. So it means you can access these cloud services on one wide area network, on LAN, local area network, or virtual private network, VPN. Applications such as email, web, conferencing, customer relationship management executes on cloud. Already we consume cloud services. Already we consume cloud services, and most of cloud services like email, we consume and we pay our bundles. We pay our bundles. There is no other payment we do, but bundles. Now, cloud computing refers to manipulating, configuring, and accessing hardware and software resources remotely. Manipulating, configuring, and accessing hardware and software resources remotely. As long as we can access software resources, hardware resources, and other types of services remotely, we are in cloud computing. Remotely means what? They are stored, they are not in our local machine. They are in other machines. This hardware is somewhere else. This software that we are accessing, they are installed in other machines which are somewhere else. And as long as we can access them and use them, then we are in cloud computing. It offers online data storage. Cloud computing offers online data storage. Your device don't need to have a big amount of storage, no. But you can use cloud storage. You can use cloud storage, and then you can store everything you need. Now, it offers online data storage, infrastructure, and application. Cloud computing offers platform independency. It is platform independency. It does not depend on a type of mobile device you are using. It does not depend on any operating system. No, any operating system, any hardware you use, so can access and enjoy these cloud services, as the software is not required to be installed locally on your PC. Hence, the cloud computing is making our business application mobile and collaborative. You see, it is not necessary to install applications of required operating systems locally in your mobile device or in your electronic device. No, it is not necessary. So that is why any mobile can access those services offered, because the required softwares are installed in those servers on the internet, connected to the internet. And then we can only access those applications we need. So to access these applications, so we need simply a mobile device. So you understand that cloud computing is making our business application mobile and collaborative. Basic concepts of mobile computing, of cloud computing. Here certain service and the models working behind the scene, making the cloud computing feasible and accessible to end users. Following the working models for cloud computing, we have deployment models and you have services models. Let us start from deployment models. Deployment models you need for cloud computing. Deployment models defines the type of access to the cloud. Type of access. How can we access the cloud? What are the requirements to access the cloud? How the cloud is located. Cloud can have any of four types of access.